And we'll start with Mr. Polsey.
Good evening, gentlemen. What are commonly referred to as the Bush tax cuts are set to expire at the end of this year. In a report issued last month by the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, the office concluded that extending all the cuts would improve economic outlook for the next year or two, but in the long run would facilitate less economic growth and lead to greater public debt. Meanwhile, President Obama has proposed legislation to Congress that would allow tax cuts that benefit individuals that earn less than $200,000 annually to remain in place indefinitely, resulting in a projected deficit increase of $3 trillion as opposed to $3.7 trillion. Would you oppose the President's proposal? And if so, why?
2.5 minutes, whenever you're ready.
Who's going first?
It'll be Mr. Hoffman.
Okay, thank you. The Bush tax cuts, if they expire at the end of this year, it's going to be devastating to the economy going forward. It has been proven in the Reagan era, in the Eisenhower era, in the 1920s, that lower taxes stimulate the economy and keeps it going. You want to stop the economy? Tax it. You want to stop job growth? Tax it. That's the way it happens. For President Obama to pick $200,000, he just doesn't understand how businesses operate. As a small businessman and a CPA that advises many businesses throughout the district, I know that most businesses report their business income on their personal tax return. So it's very easy for them to get over $200,000 in income. If they make $300,000, they pay $100,000 in taxes, and they reinvest $100,000 in their businesses. That only leaves them $100,000 to run their household. The President and the Democrats do not understand that. We have to extend the Bush tax cuts in order to stimulate job growth and stimulate the economy, and that's what it's all about. Where are the jobs? Where are the jobs? And they don't get that in Washington.
You have time left to vote if you're set.
Okay. Furthermore, the Bush tax cuts will also stimulate the investment into businesses. It'll stimulate outside investors. It helps everybody. It helps the poor people. Yes, he's going to help keep it with the poor people. This Bush tax cuts had the 15% rate reduced to 10%. That needs to stay in place too. So hopefully, whatever passes through Congress, we get something that's going to stimulate the economy and keep it going.
Would you like the question again?
No. Look, I agree in large part with what Doug said, but there's a few fundamental principles I want to focus in on here. Right now, the biggest challenge in terms of the business side of things, small businesses and larger businesses, it's the uncertainty we're having right now. Businesses don't want to invest. Why? Because they have this sword of higher tax rates hanging over their head. It makes no sense. That's why, again, the Bush tax cuts should not be repealed. They should be continued on permanently to give businesses and investors the understanding and know-how that they have a flat line going forward to know what their tax rates will be. Look, as someone over the past decade who's invested in and turned around troubled companies, you need that kind of certainty. That's the experience I understand, that's the experience I have, and that's the experience I want to bring on behalf of the 23rd Congressional District down in Washington. Remember, with tax rates, it's complicated, but it comes down to one principle. The marginal rate, which is the last dollar you get taxed. All the Democrats and liberals want to get it as high as humanly possible. What does that mean in normal terms? Are you going to go ahead and work that extra hour, hire that additional person, maybe expand the business because you want to get a little bit ahead? Well, right now, time and time again, Obama, Pelosi, and Owens continue to want to raise that margin, that last dollar marginal income, which will go ahead and hurt the economy. And right now, we have to throw everything we can to make sure that the economy grows and we have an opportunity here in the North Country and all over the 23rd Congressional District that our small businesses will thrive and will help lead us out and into a better recovery.
30 seconds for rebuttal.
I run 13 businesses in the North Country. I'm a CPA with 5 offices throughout the district, all the way to Watertown. And I know the pain my clients and I face, more taxes and more regulations. If you want to stimulate business especially small business, which is the economic and job generator in America, you have to reduce taxes and you have to reduce regulations. And I will be in Washington fighting to make sure that happens and we can revive the economy of the 23rd District and America.
30 seconds for rebuttal.
I agree.
Next question.